Everybody, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, Real Nitty, back with another video for y'all. Before I start, please make sure you subscribe. All right. Now I've been making a series of videos on how to play the roles and what are the roles on Smite. The roles, as we see here: assassin, guardian, hunter, mage, warrior. Okay. I've done a video on the assassins, the guardians, the hunters, the mages. Now we're gonna do the warriors. Okay. Excuse me, y'all. I was just eating. But anyway, so folks, very important, very important. Okay. When you're playing with a warrior, okay, you can build them with defensive cards or what we would call tanky, or you can build them as a hybrid, some defense, some offense combined. That's a hybrid build. Okay. Or you could build them, and I've seen a lot of this too, all offensive. Okay. So attack speed, power, damage, all power. So it really depends on the warrior that you take. Very important, just like I say in all the other videos, you must know the character. You must know the moves of the character. Okay. With a warrior, it's all about positioning. A lot of times the warrior is the tankiest or the most heavily armored character on the team. So if you are the most heavily armored character or the tankiest character, then you know that you're going to be a frontline character, okay? Up in the front of the team, allowing the squishier or the softer characters behind you who are normally more powerful or who hit harder in the latter stages of the game to build up, right? All right, so let's see. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We're going to go in training mode, okay? Let's go to practice mode, jungle practice. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a warrior, okay? And we'll just go through a couple of things in the jungle real quickly. See, your warriors, they're not tanks, okay? But they are very defensive oriented. And then also, if you're going to build them for power, they do a lot of damage. All right. So I've seen it both ways. Let me get my
What
man here,
brings you under the sea?
Achilles. We'll get Achilles. Okay.
What brings you under the sea?
That is my favorite Achilles skin right there. All right. Remember, people, most importantly, you must know your character. Don't be on here bullshitting, okay? Don't be on here running out there with a warrior, okay, with no armor on, but you're trying to be in the front taking damage in the early stages of the game when you don't have your armor on yet. Biggest mistake I see people make. They run out there with a warrior. This happens with tanks also, but you know, we're actually talking about the warrior. So you run out there, you're playing with a warrior. You already know that the warriors are kind of tough. Okay, so you get a
I
little
am
bit
the
above
prince of the
yourself.
seas, and I
Okay,
am
and you
naturally the
start
best damn spear wielder out
standing
there.
out there fighting two people. But whoops, you ain't got your armor on yet. So what
Minions
happens?
have
You get your ass
spawned.
murdered. Okay, and you start dropping in your levels. Everyone's passing you in levels. Okay, so very important. Okay, let's set this to level 20 real fast. Level 20. Let's level up our moves. Okay, let's get them all maxed out. All right, now let's put our cards in. Okay.
Am I the lucky wielder of this beauty?
All right, now let's talk about what we have here as far as warriors go. This build here is not so much a hybrid build, but this is more of a tanky build. Okay. Okay. This gives me some physical power with some health. This gives me some physical defense and some health. This gives me some physical defense and some cooldown. Okay, this gives me magical defense and some health, some MP5, which we already know what MP5 is. We went over it in another video, so I won't go over it now. just go back and look at the mage video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That is your manner, okay? This give me some physical health. I mean, some physical protection and some health. Okay, also some HP 5, which is a healthy regeneration. All right, this is going to give me some magical protection and some physical power. Okay, so I got a little bit of physical power here. I got a little bit of physical power here, and this actually, the mystical mail also acts like a type of physical power because it does damage to enemies who are in range. Okay, see that there, the aura right there. All right. So, this is practice. Do I really need a relic? I really don't, but I'll just put it in because that's a pet peeve of mine for the screen to be blank. Okay, so where are we going to go? We're going to go to guard bots. Remember, this is where you practice for all my newbies because these videos are for newbies anyway, so don't be sitting here talking crazy like I already know all this. I already know. Well, this ain't for you. This is for the newbies, okay? Or anyone just want to get a little bit of a better understanding. All right, so you have all your cards on. We're going to go over here and practice. Guard bots. Keep talking about upgrade. Let me get this off my screen. This is so damn irritating. All right, it's gone off the screen. Okay, excuse me. So let's start off here. Let's put Neef over here. This allows you, for the newbies, this allows you to choose which guard you want to practice against. Okay. You see that little ring of power that's emanating outward from my character, Achilles? That's the damage that stacks onto your enemies because of the mystical mail armor. So that's why I said it's not a physical power added onto it, but that does do damage. Watch. See what it does her? All right. So you see how I'm able, you see how as a warrior I'm able to do damage, get her out of there, but also take damage. Okay, so this is my build that I have for Achilles, which is, let's do that again. So my build, okay, bring this down, does some damage deflection, his aura here.
You will surrender to me.
Okay, so the main thing here is not to show that we can kill, but the main thing is that warriors actually do damage on top of being tanky if you build them the right way. I've seen some people just build them straight power. Let's do an example of a straight power build real fast. Okay, let's do an example of let's do a hybrid build. This would be my hybrid build. What would I take out? Let's say, since we're putting in attack speed, let's take the MP5 out. Let's take that card out. Let's take that out. All right, and then we're putting in some attack speed.
A royal weapon.
All right.
Passed down
and
through
then
generations.
Let's take. We're going to keep the cooldown cards in. What are the two cooldown cards? This one and this one. We're going to keep those in so we can keep bringing his powers back. And you know what? Let me take that out. Let's take this Frostburn, which is a good card on him because it slows the enemies down, which enables you to stay attached to them while you're doing damage. But all right, so this will be more damage. Remember, more power cards you have in, you're less tanky, which means you're not able to take as much damage. However, you'll do more damage because we've taken out the damage, the tank cards, and put in damage cards. Okay, so. Excuse me for stuttering a bit, but I actually can't hear myself on the mic, so that's fine. All right, here we go. Now, what you're going to do? Let's see how much faster he gets rid of. I got life steal in. Now you see the difference. You see how much faster he got rid of her. So he got rid of her a lot faster. Okay, and that's because he's got a hybrid build going on. On Warriors, I particularly like a hybrid build or a tanky build. I don't necessarily like all power builds, but again, remember something. The way you build your character is going to depend on who you're playing against and the comp of your team. What's the comp of your team? The composition of your team. What your team is made of. Do you have all mages and hunters? Do you have a mage and hunters on your team? Which means your characters, your teammates are squishy. So if your teammates are squishy, then you're going to need to be tankier, right? So you can help to peel the enemies off of them and help protect them. Or do you have another tank on your team? If you have another tank on your team, then if you're playing with a warrior, then you could put more damage cards in. Okay, then that will make more sense then, right? Because then you can help with the damage. And if you already got a tank on your team, then he's going to help with the peeling duties.
You hit him with that secret sauce.
And I actually like Achilles. He's a good warrior.
That was sorty and joke.
Right? Okay, another thing you want to make sure with a warrior is that you pay attention to their health, because high health on a warrior is very good. Another way you can do is you can put a lot of damage on your warrior and high health, right? So you can increase his health and put more damage in it, then he'll still be able to take more hits. And hopefully if you put in enough damage and attack speed, then he'll get rid of the enemy before he gets taken out, okay? So just certain things. I just want you to get an understanding, because like I said, I play all the time. I'm no professional player, but I know what I'm doing. I can say that much. And then you just want to understand your positioning. Positioning is key. You hear me say that in all the other videos. Positioning is key, okay? Positioning is key. Frontline players, please put your defense on. Look at the composition of the team you're playing against. Okay, if you're playing Joust, we know that's 3 enemies on the other team. Is the composition of the other team, is it 2 mages and a tank? Okay, is it a mage, a hunter, and a tank? Is it a mage, a hunter, and a warrior? Is it 2 hunters and a warrior? So depending, because we know that what? Mages are magical, okay? They do magical damage. Tanks, or guardians, shall I say, do magical damage. Everyone else does physical damage, right? So that means the warriors, the assassins, and the hunters, they do physical damage, right? So depending on the composition of the other team will determine what type of armor you put on. Obviously, if you're going against more mages, you want more magical armor on. If you're going against, if the enemy team composition is made of a more physical damage character, then you want more physical armor on. Sounds simple, but you'll be amazed at how many people get this wrong. You know, they're running out there, you know, all willy-nilly, you know what I mean, like they're drunk, like that, and they're getting chopped down because they don't have the right armor on. I was playing with a guy earlier, you know, and I'm not one that like to talk about people in a way that they don't know what they're doing, but sometimes you can tell, you know, and you just want to say, hey, my man, come on, bro. I mean, really. You know, you're out here looking like a buffoon, man. Please put some armor or the right armor on. You know, you're out there with, you don't want to be the one that's out there with 2 physical defensive items in your deck and you playing against all magical characters, right? And then you're like, man, I got all this armor on, man. Why are they still killing me? Because you don't have the right armor on, that's why. So you just got to be careful, you know. Now, I'm not going to stretch it out and elongate the video. You know, I just want to make sure everyone understands this. Because again, this is not the knowledge that me and my friends that play the game got. We didn't get any of this knowledge, you know, when we started playing Smite. We didn't get any of this knowledge. We were getting our asses whooped. I'm trying to tell you, we were getting smashed. You know, but if you don't know, you don't know. All right. The word's a biggie, though. If you don't know, now you know. So let's get right. Warriors, positioning, proper defensive items, proper offensive items. Warriors must always have something offensive on them, okay? Now, a lot of times, here's the other thing, too. Remember this. I say that you must always have offensive items on. You don't really have to have offensive items on with a warrior because they're Because the warriors, all characters on Smite, this is something that must be understood too. All characters on Smite do a certain amount of base damage with their powers. Okay, you do a certain amount of base damage with your powers. Okay, anyway, right? So, for instance, let's look at this. So, we see that the shield of Achilles, right? That's when he punches his shield and does the damage, right? Right now, what is it doing? 320 plus 135, right? Right? So, if I was to take everything off, all of his cards off, right? He still would be doing a certain base amount of damage, right? Okay, which basically would be a 100, right? The 135 that you see there next to the 320. I mean, he would be doing 320. I'm sorry. The 135 that you see next to the 320, folks, is the extra damage on top of the base damage. The extra damage comes from the cards that I have in the deck, right? And more specifically, the what is that? More specifically, comes from the Blood Forge and the Aussie and the Ansil. Okay, those are the cards that's doing the damage. So the Blood Forge over here on the left, the Blood Forge. I'm at the left on the bottom for those who don't know where I'm at. The Blood Forge, right? The Aussie and the Ansil. Okay, those could combine for that plus 135 that you see there. Okay, the base damage is the 100, the 155, the 210, and 265, and the 320. And the reason there's five numbers there for my newbies is because your first five leveling up of that particular ability will jump you to the next power level. So you'll start off at the 100. Once you level that ability up to a level 2, you'll be 155. Next, you'll be 210, you'll be 265, and then 320. So each power has 5 levels, okay? And then the damage on top of that, which is in the parentheses, is based off the cards that you put in the deck. I just want everyone to understand that. Okay, because someone didn't understand that the other day. All right, so that's where the plus 150 comes from on his ultimate, from the cards that are in the deck. Okay, the basic power that you get from the regular levels are the 180, 270, 360, 450, 540. Okay, so understand that. So remember, what do we say about when you build your warriors? Either you're going to build tanky, you're going to build a hybrid build, or you're going to build an all damage build. No matter which way you build, please, please, please understand what the powers do, understand their moves, understand the passive, and build to the strength of the passive and the powers that he has. Okay, sometimes you need attack speed. It's not always necessary on warriors. Now, how does it go? Who hits harder? Warriors or tanks? Warriors hit harder than tanks because tanks aren't designed for power. Now you do have some tanks that hit very hard. Okay, we can get into that in a later video. But for the purposes of this, I need you to understand that warriors are going to be built dependent or based upon who you're playing against, who's on your team. So remember, the composition of your team and the composition of the team you're playing against will depend on how you build your warrior. More importantly than some other roles, because the warrior is that mid character. He could be your frontline character. He could be a jungler, okay? Or, like I say, it could be a hybrid. If you're going to be a hybrid, that means you want to be out there taking damage, but you also want to do damage like, yo, back up. You know what I'm saying? Back up, because I'm whooping ass out here too. And I'm tanky. So, okay, make sure you understand that. And I think you'll be all right going forward. All right. It's your boy, the Real Nitty. I'm out. Please, please, please make sure you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Okay, give me a thumbs up. There's a lot of people. It's I ain't gonna say it's a lot yet, but there's people looking at the videos. They're not hitting thumbs up. They're just looking, getting the information, and moving on. Okay, that's fine. Everybody, you don't have to. It ain't like I'm holding you down saying hit the thumbs up, or else. But I would appreciate it, and it will help me out. So please subscribe, hit the thumbs up. To my subscribers, I thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you want me to do the next video on, and I got you. I'm out.